Hello, I'm Sam from Sound on Sound magazine. I'm at the Superbooth show in Berlin, and I'm on the Gamechanger audio stand with Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Sam.
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. I'm also very pleased to be standing in front of the new Gamechanger audio Motor Synth II.
Yeah.
Now, before I ask you what's new in the Mark II version, I wonder if you could just briefly summarize the principles of the Motor Synth, because it is a completely unique device.
So I'm gonna escape the video for a moment. So the Motor Synth is called Motor Synth because it replaces conventional oscillators with DC motors. And as DC motors rotate, they create fluctuations in magnetic field, which then are picked up by a tiny magnetic pickup, which is attached to each motor. So it's a similar relationship to string and magnetic pickup in the guitar. And that is the sound of the Motor Synth. And that sound is not perfect because that's just the physical realm. But we are embracing those imperfections and using them just to come up with new sounds.
So is it a little bit like a tone wheel system in a Hammond organ, for example?
In tone wheel system you have a tone wheel per pitch. Here it's a little bit different because we have eight motors that rev up to the desired pitch. Yeah, so there's a keyboard that you can play as a keyboard or as an arpeggiator, and the motors are quickly revving up to the desired pitch. So you can play lightning fast arpeggios and the motors will catch up and then, rev up or down pretty fast.
Yeah, so like I say, a totally unique concept in synthesis as far as I'm aware. What's new in Mark II?
So before I get to Mark II, just a little bit comment about Mark I. So we presented Mark I back in Superbooth 2019, I believe. And at that point, it was intended a little bit simpler instrument. But due to processes in the world, we ran into some troubles with sourcing parts for it. So while we were working on that, our main engineer Martin over here, he was working long hours to improve many things about the motors, and we shipped out the first version to our crowdfunders, and we got really good valuable feedback from them. That's what we were working on it. And so this Mark II is now based a new version based on that feedback and incorporates some of the advantages that we are able to use because of the motors that we found and can use in the Motor Synth. So the new Motor Synth is the concept and the basics are the same as the Mark I, but here we have a little bit different filter situation. We have added digital voice layer in addition to the motors. So yeah, you have these analog motors and you have additional 8 digital oscillators that you can mix in. So if you want to add some of that digital precision on top of the beautiful imperfections of the motors, you can do that here. We redesigned modulation section. Previously it was assigned 2 targets to be modulated. Now it's more modular, where you can assign each LFO to any location, to any destination on the front panel. And the clock source for each modulator can also be various different things. For example, you can take the frequency of the motors, divide that, and then apply that frequency to another parameter. That's some of the new things. Also, there's an input jack, and that was kind of a blank spot in the previous one. So we were trying to figure out what that input will do. And currently we have implemented a vocoder here, a 16-channel vocoder, a digital one, where you can use the rich sound of the motor synth as the carrier, and then the audio input as the modulator.
Well, that sounds like quite a thorough overhaul then.
Yeah. So there are probably tons of things that I forgot, so yeah.
Well, I'm hoping they'll come back to mind when you demo it for us in a minute. Yeah. But how soon is this going to be available? Sometime
this year. And we are hoping for summer, but let's see what happens.
Cool. And do you have a price in mind?
It should be around 3,000, but we're not ready to release the final price, and that is due to instability in supplier chains. And so it's a little bit out of our hands, but we're doing our best to keep it at 3,000. Wow. But Martin has worked long hours to make, the money's worth. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tom. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what we get for our money's worth. So maybe I could ask you to demo it for us now.
Sure. It might get a little bit noisy.
That sounds good.
That's just my,
I'm down with
my
that.
thing.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Okay.